Hi, and welcome to part 2 of our 3-part video training series. In our first video, we talked about the #1 root cause of a stiff, aging body and how the bendable body method can help. Understanding your fascia is vital to this process. So if you haven't watched our first video yet, click below the player to catch up. Today, we'll teach you how to effectively stretch and directly target the root cause of your pain. So whether you're someone who sits for 8 hours a day, or you're active and don't want injuries to slow you down, you'll discover why people who stretch using our method can get a body that feels great and moves with ease.
Today, we're going to teach you a stretching technique that will get your fascia healthy and flexible. We're also going to share with you the biggest mistake people make when they stretch that actually makes you less flexible. The goal here is to get you on track towards achieving an energetic, bendable body, breaking free of that aging, tired self that's limited you from experiencing the life you deserve. I've created a simple PDF summary where you can add notes for even more value from this training. You'll see the download link below the video player on your screen. Take a moment to pause and reference it for the remainder of the session.
Anytime you're trying to get fit and healthy, it's common to face roadblocks. Perhaps you've experienced them before. There isn't enough time in the day to do the amount of exercise necessary to get a result, or you don't know which exercise will solve your specific problem. Maybe you're afraid to exercise because you have pain and don't want to make it worse, or you simply don't have the energy. These are all normal feelings to have, but you can't let them take control of your life. If you do, you'll never achieve the full, active life that you want.
When your body is breaking down, or as we like to say, leaking gas, all of your energy goes to surviving, just making it through.
Feeling like you can't show your face in a locker room because you struggle to bend over and put your underwear on.
Or feeling like you can't go on a run, take a yoga class, or even plan a hike because of the pain you're feeling is a terrible place to be in. No one should feel helpless.
That's why we're going to take this method of stretching your muscle fascia and break it down for you in these simple steps.
In order to get a fast and immediate change in flexibility, you have to address the root cause, your fascia. This requires a different kind of movement, an advanced method of stretching, unlike anything else you've seen before. Most people think of stretching as producing a pose or an end range, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. It's about generating a healthier muscle contraction through a range of motion. At first, it feels like you are tensing and resisting the stretch because the fascia in your body has become so stiff. In time, the resistance feels more like a healthy muscle contraction. Every time you do a stretch, you are making your fascia more pliable and strengthening your muscles. Not only that, your spine and skeleton naturally go back into alignment, your joints stop hurting, and you can stand up straight again. It's like a one-stop shop, gym, yoga, and chiropractor, all in one.
We have broken down the bendable body method into a simple formula that makes it easy for anyone to learn. We call it the 4 pillars of a stretch.
In order to learn and absorb a new and contradictory idea, it's important to understand the old idea first, preventing confusion and getting you on track immediately.
Let's begin first by identifying these 6 common forms of stretching to truly understand how the bendable body method differs.
The first you may be familiar with is static stretching, often seen at the beginning of a gym class or an after-school sport. Static stretching is when you stretch a muscle to the farthest point, keep it active and tense, hold the stretch for 10 to 30 seconds, and then release it.
The second form you may recognize is passive stretching. Passive stretching is like static stretching, but instead of tensing your muscles, you try to relax into the stretch and use the help of a strap or a sister to hold you in the position.
The third stretch is a type you may see swimmers doing along the diving block before they start a race. We call this dynamic stretching.
The fourth is active stretching. Active stretching is a bit like yoga. You assume a stretch pose and hold it there using the strength of the agonist muscles so that the muscle you are trying to lengthen can relax into the stretch.
The fifth is isometric stretching. Isometric stretching is when you get into a passive stretch pose and then you tense your muscles and resist against an outside force, like a wall or an assister, for 7 to 10 seconds, and then relax for at least 20 seconds and repeat.
The sixth and final example is PNF stretching, a deeper stretching technique in the vein of isometrics, except you start each repetition with an increased range of motion.
A frequent question we get at Bendable Body is your method similar to using things like foam rollers, Rolfing, or using bands? These tools and techniques are similar in that they also target unhealthy fascia, But the difference is that there is only one force, the force of the tool or therapist applied to your body while you remain passive. As you are about to see with the 4 pillars of a stretch, there are 2 forces, the force of the stretch movement and your internal resistance and contraction. Another key difference is that we aren't applying a force from the outside and trying to work our way into the fascia by first going through the skin, fat, and muscle tissue. We go straight to the fascia, so you can go deep into the densest tissue, sometimes without even feeling it. Lastly, with each stretch movement, you are getting your muscles to contract and fire more. So you are not only restructuring dense fascia on a cellular level, you're also getting stronger. Now, let's get to the 4 pillars of a stretch. Okay, let's learn the 4 pillars of a stretch. This is going to be essential so that you can start addressing the dense fascia in your body. We're going to focus on a stretch for the back of the shoulders and into the triceps. You can see you could do this standing or like John is seated in a chair. So anyone can do this stretch. Pillar 1 is the start position. So let's get into that. Palms above your head, elbows wide. You want your hands totally touching, fingers and palms touching, elbows wide. And you can see from John, make sure that your hands aren't too close to your face, okay? So pillar 1, start position. And it really matters because we want to start with the target area in a short position. So the start position counts, pillar 1. Pillar 2, resist, contract, tense. So in order to do that for this stretch, you're going to press your palms and your fingers together. And as soon as you do that, you should feel your triceps and the back of your shoulders tighten up. Maintain the resistance for pillar 3, lengthening for the stretch. And in order to do that, you're going to draw your elbows together while you continue to press your hands together. Okay? Pillar 4, release the tension and go back to the start position. Good job. Okay, make sure that you have an athletic stance in your legs and that tailbone's tucked under, okay? Pillar 1, start position, elbows wide, palms above the head. Pillar 2, resist, contract by pressing your hands together to tighten up the shoulders and the arms. Pillar 3, lengthen for the stretch, draw the elbows together to stretch out the back of the shoulder. And pillar 4, let the tension go and go back to the start position. Let's do like 4 more of these, okay? Pillar 1, start position, pressing the palms together. Pillar 2. Pillar 3, drawing the elbows together for the stretch. And pillar 4, letting the tension go and going back to the start position. Keeping the legs active, tailbone tucked under. Again, press those palms together while you draw your elbows together. Let it go and go back to the start position. You've got 3 more in you. Press those palms together while you draw your elbows together. You should be heating up and feeling like you're working pretty hard while you're doing this. Again, press those palms together while you draw your elbows together. And then the last one, press those palms together and draw the elbows together. Go ahead and let it go. You should immediately feel a little bit of relief in the back of the neck and shoulders. That stretch in particular makes it easier to look up. It also helps with your digestion in the small intestine meridian. So you can do that stretch anywhere, and as you can see, it does take a little bit of effort. The bendable body method is a full exercise modality. So not only are you stretching, but you're strengthening while you do these stretches. Okay, let's do this next one. It's really great because you use a helping hand. It's for the neck and the top of the shoulder. Again, you can do it seated or standing. So if you are standing, again, produce an athletic stance in the legs, tuck that tailbone under, bend your knees slightly. To do this stretch, we're going to take our right arm and put it at a right angle. And it's driving towards the back of our body, okay? So it's not close in, it's far away. Then we're going to take our helping hand, our left hand, and cup it around our elbow joint, okay? So the start position, pillar 1, is determined by how far across your body your left hand can reach, okay? So pillar 1, start position. Pillar 2, you're driving your right arm toward the back of your body. It's going away from center, okay? So that's pillar 2. The resistance is the right arm driving away from the body against the force in your left hand. Pillar 3, you're going to use this left hand to draw your right arm to center to stretch out the top of the shoulder and the neck. And then pillar 4, let the tension go and go back to the start position, right? So pillar 1, driving our right arm away from our body. Pillar 2, resist. And pillar 3, bring the arm to center. And pillar 4, go back to the start position. Always remember to release when you go back to the start position. It's really easy to resist in both directions on this stretch. Don't do that. We're just resisting while our arm drives back. And then you use the left hand to overcome that resistance to bring the arm to center. And you should feel the stretch all in the top of the shoulder on the right arm, okay? So pillar 1, right arm going towards the back of the body. Pillar 2, resisting. Pillar 3, overcoming that resistive force with the left hand to bring the right arm to center. And then pillar 4, release and go back. Let's do 2 more. Driving that right arm towards the back of your body while you use the left to bring it to center. To feel a little like a tug of war. Okay, and then again, last one. Drive that right arm towards the back of the body to really stretch out that tissue in the shoulder on the right. And then release. And I don't know if you can see this, but every chance my right arm is a little bit longer than my left and maybe a touch more open. You also might be able to see it on John. So there's an immediate change in the flexibility when you use the bendable body method and restructure that fascia on a cellular level. Another point I want to make, it's really important and you can see it clearly in this particular stretch, are the 2 biggest mistakes that people make when they first start stretching. The first one is you don't resist when you stretch. It's all about the resistance and it starts in the very beginning of the stretch. The second is people go too far. They focus on the end range because that's how we've been stretching our whole life. If you do that, it's actually going to make you less flexible. So really take note of those 2 common mistakes. Make sure you resist and don't go too far in range. So let's do our left side. Left arm is at a right angle, driving away from the body. Helper hand, right hand, is cupped around the left elbow joint. My tailbone is tucked under, my legs are in an athletic stance. I'm going to continue to drive my left arm towards the back of my body while I use my right hand to bring it to center for the stretch. Then I'm going to let the tension go and go back to the start position. For pillar 1, start. Pillar 2, resist. Pillar 3, lengthen. Pillar 4, release. Pillar 1, start. Pillar 2, resist, contract. Pillar 3, lengthen. Pillar 4, release and return. Let's do 3 more. Pillar 1, start. Pillar 2, resist. Pillar 3, lengthen for the stretch. Pillar 4, release and return. 2 more to go. Really resist in the beginning. Remember, it's all about these first couple of inches of the stretch. It's not about bringing your elbow all the way across your body. Okay, last one. Let's get into a good start position. Let's really resist. Let's resist a lot while we lengthen for those first couple of inches and then finish the movement and then pillar 4, go back to the start and check it out. You should start to feel a lot of relief in the top of the neck and shoulders. This stretch also helps a lot with grip strength, your digestion as well. It affects the large intestine meridian. And you might notice that it's easier to turn your neck from side to side specifically for that stretch. So we recommend that you do these stretches every day if you can, would be great. 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps of each stretch, and you're going to see a dramatic shift in the tension in your neck and shoulders.
Let's do a quick review of what we learned today. First, you learned of a new way to stretch. Apply this to your life and you'll begin to see an immediate shift towards a bendable body. Second, you learned some common stretches that exemplify what not to do, helping you feel confident once you use our method. And third, you learned all the common mistakes beginners make, so you don't get stuck in those old bad habits.
Before we go today, leave a comment below the video player and tell us how the stretches made you feel. You should have gotten immediate relief from pain and tension. After you apply this, how will life be different 1 year from now? Get clear about the result and the impact it will have on your life, the lives of your family, and those around you.
If you found this video useful, please share it on Facebook, Instagram, or even by sending this page's URL to a friend of yours.
In our next video, we're going to show you the most important area to stretch in your whole body,
It will help with back pain, neck pain, knee pain, hip pain, and just about everything else too. I like to call it the holy grail of human physicality because just a few more degrees of flexibility in this one area will dramatically change your body and get rid of things like back pain once and for all. If you're someone who sits at a desk too much and hasn't exercised in a while, this will give you what you need to get rid of your tense neck and lower back pain. If you're someone who loves to work out, then you're going to get the stretches you need to make everything better.
We've been hearing from a number of people who've had questions about the Bendable Body membership site that we've created, and we would love to hear from you too.
In our next video, we'll talk more about the membership and how you can enroll.
Please note, we keep our recruitment to a minimum so we can focus on our members. It also gives us the space to create and deliver new materials on a regular basis.
Our next video is going to be all about moving forward. For now, we want to leave you with this. You have the secret tool to flexibility, and only you can get rid of a tired and aging body right now. It's helped Olympic athletes stay in the game longer and reach new performance peaks. But it's not just for them, it's for us too. When you know how to stretch your muscle fascia, you become empowered to deal with the root cause of stiffness and pain. You can do the Bendable Body method of stretching for the rest of your life. It will keep getting better and better. Give you more energy, you'll look and feel great in your clothes, but most importantly, you'll get a body that supports your life and everything you love to do. So now that you know the 4 pillars of a stretch, all you have to do is start stretching, and I promise you will see results. Next up, we'll talk about the most important area in your body to stretch, no matter who you are, whether you're someone's mom or a serious athlete. We're excited for you to learn these next essential stretches, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.